Hello and welcome to the special edition of Talking NASCAR with Brandon and Clint. I'm Clint.
I'm Brandon. Sometimes people call me B Dog.
No, they don't. Um, so we
Yes,
the
they do.
weird. Okay. Uh, I guess sometimes they call me Sea Dog.
That's a stupid fucking nickname.
It is stupid, and they don't call me that. I would
Yeah,
tell them not to.
yeah.
So the Hall of Fame, uh, not nominees, but the people getting in were announced today
Yes.
by a committee of 50 people, I believe, is what I read.
Hmm.
Uh, we have Kevin Harvick, which, despite his broadcasting abilities, and can we say Fox is done for the year? We're
Yes.
on to the line.
Thank
Uh,
God.
thank God.
Ugh.
So Kevin Harvick, who absolutely deserves it, one championship, 60 wins,
Mhm.
uh, stats speak for themselves. Absolutely a Hall of Fame career.
Yes.
And then we had Jeff Burton.
Yes. Yes. Um, I, I've got some thoughts on this. I think my hot take for the night, Brandon's controversial opinion, will have one or two, people that comment and say, Brandon, you're out of your mind. Brandon, you're insane. I don't think NASCAR needs a Hall of Fame if this
Okay.
is the sort of driver that's going to get in. And I'll be fair here. All these people on social media were yapping about how Greg Biffle needed to get in. Greg Biffle doesn't deserve to be in either. I'm a Dale
Nope.
Jr. fan. Dale Jr., we've talked on here several times. He is a borderline case at best for the Hall of Fame. Jeff Burton, 695 career starts in the Cup Series, 21 wins, 254 top tens. That's a good career.
Is a good
That's
career.
that's a good career. 27 wins in the O'Reilly series, no championships in either series, compared to Dale Jr., right? 631 starts, 26 wins, 260 top tens, 24 wins in O'Reilly. Very similar. Jr. had more success in the Cup Series, and obviously he had the championships in the Busch Series, but neither one of these drivers deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And this is not well, they're a nice guy competition. Are they a Hall of Fame racer or not? That is a different thing. I love
Yeah.
Dale Jr. to death. I'd love to sit down and have a beer with him. I'd love to be friends with him. Hey, Junior, you watch this? You want to be besties? Hey, Clint and I could use a NASCAR driver as a bestie. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, sorry, you don't get it. But Greg Biffle, 2002 Busch Series champion, 20 career wins in the Busch Series, 2000 Truck Series champion. Good for you. 17 wins in the trucks, 515 Cup races, 19 wins, 175 top tens. None of these are Hall of Fame caliber drivers.
No.
None of them. Kevin Harvick was a no-brainer.
Yep.
That to me, that's the measure of if someone is a Hall of Famer. If you mention their name, as soon as they said he was a nominee, we knew he was getting in.
The fact that he didn't get 100% of the vote, he got like 92, 94. I
Yeah,
can't remember the exact number.
yeah.
It's kind of insane. Like when you see like a Kevin Harvick come up, or you see
Hmm.
a Kyle Busch come up when Kyle Busch comes up, or even a Kyle Larson, whatever, coming down the
Hmm.
pipeline. Those are guys. Those are, to use baseball terms, a Ken Griffey Jr. Where you go, well, yeah.
Sure.
You know, when Mike Trout goes, you'll be like, well, yeah.
Hmm.
You know, but yeah, like Jeff Burton to me, and I'm trying to think of a baseball equivalent. Would be like, no, I was going to say an Anthony Rizzo, but Anthony Rizzo I think had a better career than a Jeff Burton did
I mean,
comparatively.
it's the baseball equivalent of a utility outfielder who
Yeah,
hits
Ben Zobrist. Let's say
Ben
Ben
Zobrist.
Zobrist.
There you go. Sure, that's fair.
Great,
Fine, fair
great
enough.
utility player, good role player, good career. Now, granted, two World Series rings, but
Mhm.
would you sit there and go, he qualified as an Hall of Famer? No, you'd be like, he had a very good career. And
Yeah,
Jeff Burton had a very good long career. He had
yeah,
longevity,
yep,
but
yep,
you know,
yeah,
I don't know,
yeah. No,
he had a
this
couple
is
really good years.
yeah. Yep. And again, that should not be the metric here. I think that they are so desperate to have inductees that they're just grasping at straws. Ricky Rudd shouldn't have gotten in. Sorry, Ricky.
Yeah,
Like 20 whatever career went 23 career wins I think he had. Yeah, you had a long ass career. Yeah, you were consistent. You had that season winning streak where you won one race in whatever 18 seasons. I know Ricky's a big fan of the show.
Yeah, big fan.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
still
just
agree
like
with that.
you had a good long career, and there's nothing wrong with that, and that's great. In fact, you have your history is you have a role in the history of the sport when people learn about the history of the sport, but that's different than being a Hall of Fame driver.
Yeah,
Winning the most popular driver award isn't a qualification. That was something when Junior got in that they mentioned. How many times he won that? Why the hell does that matter if someone's popular?
yeah.
But I mean, Kyle Busch, has he ever won the most popular driver award? I sure as heck don't think so. And if you ask me, objectively, who's a better driver, Kyle Busch or Dale Earnhardt Jr.? I
Yeah.
mean, I'm I don't play poker, and I got a terrible poker face, but there's a very simple answer to that question.
A
Uh,
very easy answer.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, no, I mean, so to me, it's like all of these metrics that they're using and some of the qualitative stuff. Well, Jeff Burton was he was known as the mayor or the
yeah.
whatever the
That's
hell his nickname was, and
not a
he
whole.
helped with safety innovations.
Yeah.
Cool.
So did every driver that died.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, you're going to put Blaze Alexander in the Hall of Fame. You're going to put,
Like Kenny Irwin.
Tony Roper, truck series driver who died at Texas in 2000 that nobody remembers. You know, and the ridiculous thing about some of these metrics too is like if you're going to have 15 Harry Gant, what do you have? 15 career wins, 18 career wins, and he's
Yeah,
in. If Shane Van Gisbergen wins 10 more road course races in his career, is he a NASCAR Hall of Famer?
he has to be.
And does
And
anyone
for that
else
matter,
think that is absolutely ridiculous?
yeah. And he would have a higher win percentage
Hmm.
at that. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? Like you would look at Shane and go, well, if I don't look at what races he won,
Hmm.
well, hell, the guy won 15% of the time. That's insane. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
but you know,
And if he would have raced years ago and they only had two road course races, well, then
yeah,
he'd be a fart in the wind. Well, he
yeah,
had six career wins. Okay, well, that's all right, I guess. And I think there's other drivers here that are if 15 wins is the threshold, which around there seems to be. Unless if yeah, 15 to 20 wins, that's a threshold. Well, then, I mean, it's just letting a bunch of 245 hitters into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
right.
You know, which 245 hitters generally don't get into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
No,
Harmon Killebrew was a 256 hitter, and he got in the Hall of Fame, and everybody got their panties in a knot, myself included, because that's not a solid batting average to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if I was alive when he got in the Hall of Fame, but when I found out later on he was in the Hall of Fame and what his average was, I had my panties in a knot. Let me just clarify. I like to get my facts
his
in
diaper.
line here. I'm talking NASCAR with B and C.
Yeah,
Oh,
on TNBC. Oh, TNBC. We have an acronym now. All right.
excellent. See, you're welcome. It's what I do.
Yeah,
I solve problems that we didn't know were problems.
that's why we tell viewers it's too long a name.
That's why. That's
Yeah,
that's the problem. We've identified what stopped this channel from growing and reaching its potential. I don't think it's my
too
personality.
long.
It can't be me. You're delightful.
Have a delight. Yeah,
I think people are just don't have good either they don't have good taste,
that's
they
probably.
don't know what's good for them, or the name is too long. But we'll
We're
work
going
on
to
this.
throw it in. So
We'll work
welcome to TNBC. I'm
CNBC.
Steve.
What is it called? TNBC. There we go.
TNBC.
Okay, I like it.
We're going to leave the W with. It's just
Okay,
TNBC. Yeah,
yeah, it's too many letters.
yeah. Too many
So,
letters.
other thoughts? Did you watch any of the All Star race at all? I did
No,
not.
not a single lap.
Yeah, I absolutely could not care any less about the All Star race. And they're adding all these stupid bells and whistles where you had to start in the back and then go work your way to the front, which I mean, it sounds just like a demolition derby. Like they're just trying to tear up a lot of race
What I've
cars.
seen of replay is pretty much what it turned into. So
Sure. Yeah. I think and Dale Jr. had some harsh words for it.
yeah,
He's like, just put the damn thing at Charlotte on a Wednesday night. the Wednesday before the Coke 600, and just make it a week long thing at Charlotte rather than this crap where it's in the middle of the day at Dover. Like, why Dover?
Yeah, it should never be a day race.
Yeah, and
Uh, yeah,
and and Junior's other point, yeah, I agree with you. Should never be a day race. Dover doesn't have a points race, so you're not. It's not a good enough track to have a points race anymore, but it's good enough to host the All Star race. And you wonder why there's 7 people in the stands.
yeah.
I mean,
I like Dover.
sure.
I think it's in a good market,
Hmm.
from what I understand. But I actually do like the track.
Hmm.
Uh, it's one of those tracks that takes. It's not exciting in small bunches. It's the endurance of it. It's the longevity and the comers and goers, right?
Hmm.
The concrete and how it reacts and how cars react to it. It's a good track. I think produces good racing. It's just over the course of 400 miles and not, you know,
Sure. Sure. Well, I think it's good. Also, I mean, I think it's nice when there's the tracks are geographically they're spread out all
yeah,
across the country, which NASCAR's done a lot better with that now. Not just in this country but internationally, which is really nice. But so that's cool that in the Northeast there's a cool track, a nice, tough racetrack that has a good history with a lot of great drivers that have won there. That's cool, all fine and good. Just for the location for the All Star race, I just think
you
it's
know, like to
weird.
me, it would be around Charlotte. It being a non-points race, it's not really a paying race unless you win. Um, so it's kind of a if you're not in the top, let's say 5, and I don't know, I can't say quote the
Mhm.
exact specs of the race of the payouts, but if you're not in the top 5 or so, it kind of wasn't worth your time. And
Yeah.
how many cars wrecked out, and how many just
Hmm.
lost the race car
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of a race that they made nothing from. It's a net negative. And from a perspective that NASCAR and the teams are trying to save money,
Hmm.
going to a spec car and all these different things, and not doing practice and blah blah
Hmm.
blah blah blah, it kind of doesn't make sense to leave geographically the area where most of the teams are.
Yes, I agree. And related to that point, if it's similar, it reminds me of in the when there are times where a pitcher will get voted into the All Star game and they won't do it because they either just pitched or they just want to rest their arm to
Yeah,
to 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 make sure that they have the duration for the rest of the season because it's a long season, just like NASCAR's a long season. I don't even know why some of these drivers even take, especially some of the smaller market teams. Why would you ever go there and waste the money, waste the resources for something that doesn't pay any points, for something where you're probably just going to lose your ass financially? And if you're having to drive or, your all of the equipment and everything from North Carolina all the way to freaking Delaware and
yeah.
then back, I mean, that is hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars for a race where you literally, again, it's a freaking demolition derby. And so to me, it's similar to some other tracks that I enjoy watching the racing at, but Talladega, kind of like that. There's moments where I'm like, some of these teams
Yeah.
really NASCAR doesn't. They're trying. They're speaking on two out of both. What's the expression? Speaking out of both sides of your mouth, or two different sides of your
Yeah.
mouth, whatever the expression is. It's like, well, we got to save money, but also we're going to do this weird shit that
Yeah.
just going to tear up cars and waste money and resources, and because it's a lot of wrecking, and fans love wrecking, and that's true. That's true.
Yeah. Depending on who it is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. If it's Joe Logano, haha. If it's Denny Hamlin, haha. Sorry about your dead dad, Denny, but haha.
Where
Not about the dad part, but about wrecking. Sorry. Um, but although
if not Charlotte, where would you put the All Star race next year? Because I do have an answer. I do have a track that I
okay,
would be like, that's where I would go.
okay. I would say Daytona.
Daytona. Okay.
What do I
I
think?
would go to Rockingham.
Rockingham, sure. Okay.
It's North Carolina,
Uh-huh.
so you're nearby. I think the track produces good racing. It's kind of a good blend of short track slash uh, bigger track. It's a mile, right? I think it's a mile.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of right in the middle there. I heard
It's brutal on
Dale
tires.
Jr. Was it Dale Jr.? Yeah, it's brutal on tires. Dale Jr. said Nashville Fairgrounds, or maybe Denny Hamlin said that. One of them said Nashville
Mm-hmm.
Fairgrounds. I could see that as well. It's a little further away from Charlotte,
Mm-hmm.
but closer than Dover would have been, I guess. But
Sure. No,
I short track. It doesn't have to be short track because the short track racing hasn't produced.
mm-hmm.
But I think you get to the mile, 3/4 mile, even a Richmond. Richmond doesn't always, but Richmond produces good moments.
Mm-hmm.
You think obviously the first thing that comes to mind is Dale Jr., Kyle Busch,
Yep.
Dale Earnhardt, and pick the name, stuff like that. It can produce good racing. I think again, some of it going back and looking at the drivers now are very aggressive. The drivers back then were selectively aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
They weren't just running into each other to run into each other on lap 20. It was hey, I've given you the time and now I'm going to move you.
Mm-hmm.
You watch a good battle between two cars and then you see, okay, bumper.
Sure.
So.
Sure. I have, this is apropos of nothing, but it does relate to the All-Star race. I have something nice to say since I was just picking on Denny Hamlin. I have something nice to say about Denny Hamlin. I thought that was very sweet when he said he was going to give the $1 million to his mom. I thought that was very sweet.
Yeah.
And he still got shit on social media for it. And I was like, that seemed like the most.
That seems like the best thing you could do, minus giving it to charity, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Like his mom's had a pretty rough go the past year, and even before then, probably. So, given his dad was very serious medical issues. What's up?
Yeah, his dad had been sick for however long, right? So
yeah. So I think that was actually very sweet. I was surprised that people found a way to make that negative. And also, Kevin, the NASCAR Hall of Fame did get it right with Kevin Harvick. So, Kevin,
yes,
we know you're watching. Congratulations, well deserved. You deserve it. The fact that you're on stage with Jeff Burton
is weird.
Makes me chuckle. I get a little chuckle out of it. Like, that's interesting.
Yeah. I just want to say, Jeff Burton, big fan of the show. Nothing against your career.
Yes.
Or as a person, I'm sure he's a wonderfully nice human being.
Yes.
I think he could sit here with us on the show, and I've heard your people are talking to his people, and he may be on the next episode. Not a Hall of Fame career.
Yes.
Right.
No. That's the whole thing, though. I thought we were going to make progress having him on the show, but I think our comments and I might have put the kibosh on that whole thing. So,
I was bringing it now. Very positive, Jeff. You're a good guy. But like Ward Burton might as well be up there on stage with you. I don't like it. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, Ward Burton. That would be that's objectively ridiculous, and I don't know how much more removed Jeff Burton getting in the Hall of Fame is. I don't know how much less ridiculous that is, but I think they have this threshold of like 15 wins. 15 to 20 seems to be there. That's good enough. And that's not how you build a Hall of Fame. Well, that's a good enough career. It needs to be. I mean, how many current drivers are Hall of Famers? Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, like truly, truly great drivers that have
going by wins. Okay, going by wins and non-active drivers. Mm-hmm. So Kevin Harvick just got in, so he's going to be in it. Joey Logano will be one, which you could argue 3 championships, whether or not they're legitimate. Brad Keselowski has 36 wins. He'll end up being one. Martin Truex Jr. will probably end up being one.
Mm-hmm.
He's got 34 wins. Kyle Larson's at 32. So basically just going down the list, we get down to the first driver on the wins list to not be a Hall of Famer or will probably be a future Hall of Famer. Jim Pascal, who I don't know who that is. He has 25 wins.
How come he wasn't in before Jeff Burton?
Well, that's Jeff Burton. You go down 2, 3, 4, 5 on the list, and you get to Jeff Burton at 21.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. How come this other? if it's
It's true. Literally just going down the list of wins.
mhm.
Again, I have no idea who Jim Pascal is.
Yeah,
But then
never.
Chase Elliott's on there. Chase Elliott, I'm assuming with the 2020 championship will end up being,
Mhm.
and he could win. He could win another one. Like he's a consistent enough driver with this points.
Sure.
Then you hit Jack Smith at 21 wins. I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
Speedy Thompson at 20 wins. Then you have Davey Allison at 19 wins, who's in the Hall of Fame.
sure.
From a winning percentage,
Yes.
sure,
Yep.
but no.
Yeah.
Buddy Baker at 19 again, good career. Would
Yeah.
not say Hall of Famer.
Yep.
But then you get Harry Gant at 18 wins.
Mhm.
But if Harry Gant made it at 18, why doesn't Ryan Newman make it at 18? Why doesn't Casey Kane make it at 18?
Yep. Yep. Which
Right?
Ryan Newman is not an obvious Hall of Famer. Casey Kane is certainly not a Hall of Famer in my mind.
Curtis Turner, 17 wins, Hall of Fame.
He's in the Hall of Fame now already?
Yep.
Yeah, this just stupid.
Donnie Allison has 10. He's in the Hall of Fame. Why? Cotton Owens has 9. I mean, by these, Clint Boyer has 10. Why isn't he in?
Yeah, seriously.
Or he should have been in right away. Alex Bowman has 8, so I guess we can go ahead and count him in.
Yeah, the great Alex Bowman, one of the greatest drivers of the last 50 years in NASCAR. I don't know what they're doing other than just trying to make sure that there's publicity and there's enough spectacle for the event.
It doesn't need to be. So
no.
that's what I mean. Like with, and I hate to keep coming back to baseball, but like
there are years no one makes it in the Hall of Fame.
Yes, it's prestigious. It's a prestigious honor, an award. We can't just hand it out to everybody because you want to put a plaque up.
Yep, exactly.
Nothing against any of these people. Anybody on this list with a win, more power to you. It's the hardest. It's the pinnacle. You absolutely should, consider yourself among the lucky. Jimmy Spencer has 2 wins. Where did he win?
Okay, yeah, he won. I think he won at Bristol, if I'm not mistaken, one of his wins, and I don't know where his other career win was. Let me look that up real quick. Let me look up on the old Google machine where Jimmy Spencer got his wins. I thought one was Bristol. Let's take a old look-see here. Cup Series, first win. He won. Oh my goodness, he won the 1994 Pepsi 400, and he won the Die Hard 500 at Talladega, both in 1994. He won 2 races in 1994.
2 plate track races. Okay.
Yep. I don't know why I thought. Well, he always ran good at Bristol. He was the one he finished second to Dale when Dale wrecked Terry in 1999, and he went up after and bumped him after the race. Like, I don't approve of that, which is interesting that Jimmy Spencer would do that.
Well, people, yeah.
Yeah, seriously. I think that was 90. Yeah, that was 99. Yeah, because that was the day before my 13th birthday. I went out 4-wheeler riding with my parents, and I came back, and Dale had won the damn race.
Yeah,
and we were like, "How did this happen?" And then we didn't get to watch it in real time, and it was like, "Oh, that would have been cool to watch in real time." But then he got booed, because he took Terry Labonte out, which is, that's kind of his thing.
I accidentally, by chance, saw Tony's last win at Sonoma. I had not watched NASCAR in probably 2 years. We cut the cord and I stopped. I didn't have cable. I happened to be at my in-laws' house, and I was alone in the living room, and I turned it on and saw the last 3 laps of that race.
Wow.
Again, not in 2 years, hadn't seen a race by chance, and got to see the last one.
That's cool. I did watch Dale Jr.'s last win at Talladega from start to finish when he came back from 17th to win with 3 or 4 laps to go. I did watch that. So I don't
know where Junior won at last. Last one I remember was Michigan in the Batman car.
Yeah. let's see, because in 2014 he won 4 races. I don't know if he won after that. His last four might have been 2014. That's a good question. Let's do another Google machine
Yeah.
search because I know. Let's see here. Was it Michigan? Let's
2016. Oh no, sorry, that was the Xfinity series. It says
his
his
last one.
sponsor was
Phoenix.
I don't remember. I don't remember him. That was 2015. So he raced
Yep.
till 2018.
He retired at the end of the 2017 season.
2017. Okay.
Yep. But yeah, he was good at Phoenix. He had several wins, even in the Budweiser car at Phoenix. He had a good
Yeah.
run. He had a good feel for that track, but still borderline case. I do think they're again using the minor league quote unquote numbers
Yeah.
are really stupid. No one gets in the Baseball Hall of Fame because they hit 375 in AAA.
No.
No one gives a crap if you hit 375 in AAA. If you're that good in AAA, then you go up to the majors and you see if you can hack it there. And if you can't, well, then you're just a really good minor league player.
Yeah.
So Justin Allgaier, future Hall of Famer at this rate. Good for him. Seems like a nice fella, but not a Hall of Famer. You're a good minor league race
Yeah.
car driver.
Which is fine. He made a great
Yeah.
career.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I'm sure he's made plenty of money. Has there's something to be proud of there. For to quote Montgomery Gentry, rest in peace, Teddy Gentry. Um, didn't think I was going to pull that reference out tonight, but you
Nope.
never know what you're going to get with talking.
TNBC.
TNBC, yeah, TNBWs, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but so I don't consider Jeff Burton's wins in the O'Reilly Series 27. That's a lot of wins. That's great. Good for you. Shouldn't count. Shouldn't even be mentioned when he gets inducted. Juniors championships and nationwide. Great. That was exciting to watch to see it. Earnhardt rise up through the earning
Yeah.
his stripes and getting close with his dad. That was cool to see in real time. But Biffle, same thing. Truck Series champion. Don't care. Bush Series, don't care. Like, these are not Hall of Famers. So sorry, Greg Biffle was a great human. He did a lot of good stuff, and I'm sorry he passed away so tragically and so young with his family. But that doesn't mean he's a freak.
You be a Hall of Famer because you passed away.
Yeah, no. If every nice person gets in the Hall of Fame, well, then it's just going to be like, well, then Kyle Busch won't be in. Like, the ones who deserve it won't be in. Like,
Yeah.
do you think Dale Earnhardt was a nice person? Like, I'm
To
sure
certain people.
to certain people, this is a guy who's like a bit of an intimidating hard ass of a human. Probably not an easy guy to get to talk to one on one in a comfortable way. I wouldn't sure as hell wouldn't be comfortable. This is not the hall of nice guys. Tony
Yeah.
Stewart, for God's sakes. I'd be shaking like a tree if Tony Stewart confronted me about something. And he's a fat old 60-year-old now or whatever. However, no offense, Tony. Big fan of the show. I know you're a big fan. Thanks for the support.
Yeah. Yep.
But like, this is, I get sick of that. Well, they're nice. They're good for the sport because they're nice. I don't. That is
Yeah.
such a and the proof in the pudding that that's ridiculous is Kevin Harvick is another one. I don't consider him to be a particularly nice human being.
No.
He's never struck me as warm or cuddly or given me the fuzzy feelings of anything like that. And he is objectively 50,000 times a better race car driver than Jeff Burton. And yet they're
Yeah.
both going in the Hall of Fame together.
And that's part of it for me. So we'll wrap it up because I know we're hitting around. But Jeff Burton, because you could sit there and say, well, the best years were Roush, then he went to RCR. But he was at RCR at the same time as Kevin Harvick, and Kevin Harvick was whipping his ass.
Yes, that's a fair point. Yes, he was there. It was potentially the start of the decline of RCR. Some of the tension that developed between Harvick and because of the nepotism with the Dillon brothers.
Even when that was happening, Kevin Harvick was still kicking people's ass.
Yes, he was
on the track.
Yes, he was.
With his helmet.
Absolutely. Yes, with his helmet on, like a little bitch. But that's
right.
Neither here nor there.
That's what Denny Hamlin had said something about that, right? With when he was referencing Kyle Busch, was great drivers will carry a bad team.
Hmm.
Not to say that you're going to take a bad team and win with it, but you're going to take a 20th place car, be 15th or whatever the case may be, because that's
Yes.
what great drivers do.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
and Kevin Harvick, even though RCR was declining, was able to just kind of prop that team up.
True. Yes. And at some, just a piggyback off that, while I understand Denny's point, saying that about Kyle Busch, I'm almost certain there's going to come a point later in the season, Kyle Busch will be very strategic, where Denny Hamlin is put very firmly into the wall
I will.
by Kyle Busch.
Kyle has not always got the results since that comment, but it has lit a fire under his ass.
Yes, it has. I agree. Top 10 at Watkins Glen, that was great to see. I wish him nothing but the
Very
best.
great attack was right after that.
Yeah, I hope he turns it around. And I'd like to see him stick around the sport for 3 or 4 more years.
Yep.
I have grown to appreciate him a lot more, especially because he's mellowed out some.
Yeah.
Just like his older brother. They're both very talented race car drivers, and I think they both. Kurt Busch is absolutely a Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Like very, very, very good race car driver, as is his younger brother.
Can you imagine a career, a Kurt Busch career, where he stuck with one good team
Seriously, yeah.
and without losing his shit
Yep.
and fired from
Yeah.
job after job?
Yep.
If he had calmed himself down to just be fiery but stick with maybe not Roush but maybe Penske or whatever. Penske was definitely on a rise at that point.
Mhm.
And to have finished his career out in just a great car like that, how good
Yeah.
he could have been.
Oh my goodness, yeah, no, he could have. I mean, he could have had more wins than Kyle.
Mhm.
If honestly the potential was there. I do think Kyle is just overall just a better race car driver than his brother.
Yes, I agree.
But Kurt acknowledges that. So in the Rowdy documentary on Prime, Kurt acknowledges it that he was a better race car driver than me. So by the time he learned what he was doing, he was always better than me. And I was
Yeah, I
like,
heard an early on interview with Kurt, and they were saying how good he was, and he said, "Wait till you see my brother."
hmm
Right,
yeah,
and it's true, and that's why I think that race at Kansas where Kurt beat Kyle, they had
hmm
on
hmm
meant so much. I'd love to hear from Kurt now, like how much did that win mean?
hmm
Because I bet racing his brother, who he saw as a level higher than him,
hmm
probably to
hmm
beat him straight up like that was an awesome race. I hated that
yeah.
that Kentucky lost a race. Personally, I thought it was a good track.
Well, and another race that to me is one of the coolest finishes, probably maybe the greatest finish in NASCAR history, is the Darlington win where Ricky Craven
Yeah,
beat Kurt Busch at the line. That number one, it was cool to see. It's cool to see drivers that don't get a lot of career wins get a win once in a while.
that may have
Ricky
been Ricky's
Craven.
only.
What's up?
That may have been Ricky's only one.
I think he had two, but yeah, two kind of very similar to Jimmy Spencer. You don't get a lot. I mean, I'm not a Jimmy Spencer. I'm not trying to compare but Ricky Craven seems like a very genuine, nice human, and that was really neat to see. But
Yeah,
that race is so iconic, uh, and Kurt's role in that, and how gracious he was in defeat in that
Derek
race.
Cope has two.
What's up?
Derek Cope has two.
Derek
So
Cope has two. That's the next Hall of Famer, apparently. So we need to let Ricky Craven in. Anyone that wins a race at some level, you're a Hall of Famer now. So
yeah,
yeah, no, yeah,
Steve
NASCAR
Park,
Hall of
he should be Hall of Fame.
Exactly. Yeah, Steve Park, what might have been, if we're going to base it on what might have been. I mean,
Yep.
again, you brought up Davey Allison. I mean, with a full career, absolutely, he would have, unless something went catastrophically wrong with
Yeah.
Robert Yates. I mean, he could have won 50, 60 races. I
Yeah.
mean, he was a hell of a race car driver. But again, they don't let, I mean, Lyman Bostock, do you know who he is?
Nope.
He was a player. He played in the major leagues for 3 or 4 seasons.
Okay.
And he hit, I mean, he was a batting, I think he might have won a batting title in his second year in the major leagues. He played for the Minnesota Twins. And he was very tragically shot and killed in a random
Okay.
shooting.
Yes. I do remember you telling me about this. Yeah.
And he's with 10 more years. I mean, he could have been Tony Gwynn level of a baseball player. He's not in the Hall of Fame because he played 4 fucking seasons in the major leagues. It
So,
sucks that he got shot. Everyone wonders what might have been, but he's not a Hall of Famer. So we've solved a lot of problems here tonight. NASCAR, if you're watching this, but there's a problem though too with this. In real time, I'm just spiraling because once you can't put the genie back in the bottle. Once you let all these mediocre drivers in, what do? You just have to keep letting more and more in.
I think NASCAR has shown a propensity to make stupid changes. So why not make a good change and just go, hey guys, we got to tighten up the criteria.
Mm-hmm. I think
No.
that's NASCAR's slogan. We make stupid changes. So, yeah, okay.
I'm not just like I know like it's easy to sit here an armchair quarterback and say that was stupid, but they've made safety for what it's done to the racing. Safety is good. Nobody's died.
Mhm.
You know,
Yes, that's true. Yes, that's very true. But I disagree with your earlier point that this is easy. We make this look easy.
we are that talented. You're right. You're right. We
So
are just that talented to do that.
to recall you to your little passive comment there about us being armchair quarterbacks. No, this takes skill.
You're right.
So
You're right.
thank you. I'm usually that's the case. Um, twice this month I've been wrong so far that I've calculated. So
That
not
you
about
can.
it. No, and it's never anything important. It's ticky tack shit. So this is
It's
important.
not a technicality. It's not
Or
important.
it's a technicality. Yes. With that, do you have anything else to add before we get this
No,
train
that's good.
back on the tracks? I
I'm
don't
on
even know if that's.
the Steve Park into the Hall of Fame Express.
I think we need to start a Steve Park for the Hall of Fame committee.
I
And
think not one win gets you in the Hall of Fame, but two does.
so Jimmy Spencer also, Ricky Craven,
Dave Reagan, David Rudiman, Daniel Suarez, Future, Juan Pablo Montoya, Michael McDowell. I can keep going. All these guys, Hall of Fame.
excellent. I think
Why
that's
not?
the way to go. Yes.
One win is that's a fluke. Two though, now we're talking.
You don't want the Hall of Fame to be, meaningful. You want
No,
just a lot of freaking
a
speeches and
lot
a
of
lot
names.
of different plaques or whatever I don't even know if they put plaques
I
up.
don't know, but yeah, I've been to the Hall of Fame and I could not tell you. I could not. I don't remember.
They need to make the museum clearly. They need to make it more memorable as well. So NASCAR,
It's
several
cool.
things in your to-do
Anybody
list.
gets a chance to go to the Hall of Fame, very cool building, very cool displays. Not super prestigious to get in.
Yes, clearly. Jeff Burton, hope to see you next week on the show.
Yeah,
Everyone, be careful merging. Wipe till it's white.
keep it
Rock the
between.
vote. Keep it between the lines, as Ricky Van Shelton taught us.